Moose!
Hey guys, welcome back to the game plan on Story Stories. I'm Anthony.
I am Daddy. We're now taking you on our first foreign journey preview to go see a Milwaukee Brewers game. There's an opportunity that it could happen in 2023. It is the city of
Toronto, Ontario,
Canada. It's not just American North. We really are going to a country with its own culture and its own traditions, and that's part of the fun of what this is going to be. We're going to have a little fun along the way. Mm-hmm. Now for your top five, and your first of your top five is pretty high up, literally and figuratively.
the CN Tower. You've probably seen it before in a picture if you have not been to Toronto, but in 1995, the CN Tower was classified
as
one of the world's 7 wonders.
one of the modern wonders of the world. And the reason being is the thing is so tall. Mm-hmm. It's the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
1,800 feet tall. Doing the math, that's a little more than a third of a mile. It's pretty high up. You're gonna need an oxygen mask, dude. We've been in some pretty tall buildings before.
Hancock, we've
been more than 1,000 feet high, the Hancock Tower. Yeah. This one is even higher up than that. But one of the fun things you can do is to stand on a glass floor 1,122 feet above the ground.
That sounds scary. I know I'm safe, but just having to look down, that would just be really scary.
I think I might try this just to help you, just to show you it is safe. Based on what's on the website for the CN Tower, the glass floor is stronger than a regular floor. They measured it, basically it has the strength to hold up 35 moose. 35 moose, a very Canadian way as we understand to express the point of how strong that thing is. We stayed downtown, just a few blocks away for your number 2, and it dives into Canada's national sport.
The Hockey Hall of Fame. It is the second oldest Hall of Fame in four major sports, right behind Cooperstown in Cooperstown, New York, for the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame.
It was founded in 1943 for the sport that has defined Canada, I would say probably doubly more than baseball defines America, than even football defines America, American football. It is such a part of the woven tradition of the country. And it's also a pretty historic building. Check out how old this building is.
135 years old?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's been around a while, and it's got so many different artifacts. You can actually, I think you said it's got a replication of a Stanley Cup winning locker room?
I'm pretty sure, I don't know about Stanley Cup, but I'm pretty sure it was one of the really good Canadiens teams.
Montreal Canadiens.
If you go there in like the 1 or 2 week period right before the Stanley Cup starts, you can take a picture with the real Stanley Cup.
The actual authentic thing.
Yeah.
Now, it's known that with the Stanley Cup, when the winning team finally gets it, that each of the players gets it for a day.
Yes.
What would you do with the Stanley Cup for a day?
I'd take it to a movie game.
That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Give it its own seat.
I would fill the thing and have a big chug of chocolate milk out of it.
Has somebody done that before?
Oh yeah, they've done it with beer. I mean, I would probably, beer is in moderation for me, so I wouldn't fill the thing with beer. Chocolate milk, I think I might go nuts. I've even seen pictures of babies being bathed in the Stanley Cup. Your number 3, speaking of being bathed in things, has a lot to do with water.
The Ripley's Aquarium of Canada. It's got 450 animals. They've got an underwater tunnel where you can see sharks and stingrays right above you. Mm-hmm. You can just walk through it. We had that at Discovery World with some little fish.
Right, with little fish. We had that at the Newport Aquarium in Kentucky outside Cincinnati, where we walked through a tunnel where there were a whole bunch of aquatic animals. Now, your your grandfather, would actually bring fishing line, would probably try and like break through the glass and try and catch one of those puppies with his reel. But he was the type of guy, by the way, that when we got married, he wanted his vest for his tuxedo with pockets for fishing line, and he would have worn that during the ceremony. Really close to Ripley's Aquarium of Canada, in fact, just within a couple blocks walking distance, is where we're actually going to go see the Brewers take on the Toronto Blue Jays. It is
the Rogers Center, and it's a very interesting stadium. It's a retractable roof stadium that's a circle or a rectangle.
It was the first retractable roof stadium in the world. It was back in 1989. I remember watching the first game being played there and seeing this roof. It actually is a rectangle stadium, but the roof is circular, and sort of seeing it move in order to open up.
Yeah, it's like if it's closed, it'll go like that, and it's kind of like Milwaukee, except Milwaukee's go like that. This is going like that.
Yeah, we fan. They sort of use circles. They and then do disco dancing and all that sort of crazy kind of stuff. In a couple years, it might be home to the World Series champions. Just saying. They are an improving team.
Yes, Vlad Guerrero and the guys out there.
I would definitely love, I'm not sure if we can afford this, but I would love to rent out a hotel room.
Oh, those things are awesome.
Yes.
There's actually a video on YouTube of Zach Campbell, link in description, catching a player throwing him a ball into his hotel room there.
That would be ridiculous. And by the way, who won the first game there?
The Brewers?
Yep.
Yes.
The Milwaukee Brewers won the first game inside what was known as the Sky Dome, what is now the Rogers Center. We've got that on you, Toronto, for the rest of history. And number 5, it's a bit of a drive away from downtown. The only attraction that you have that is that far away. It is the
Toronto Zoo. It's one of the 10 biggest zoos in the world.
It's massive. It's 700 plus acres. I mean, check out how much bigger it is to the Milwaukee and even the San Diego Zoo.
So it's nearly 4 times the size of Milwaukee Zoo and more than 7 times the size of San Diego's.
It's got 5,800 animals.
And the biggest is a 4,500-pound hippo.
He's going to be the next draft pick of the Green Bay Packers for defensive tackle in the first round.
And the smallest, a worker leafcutter ant. What?
I've never heard of a leafcutter ant, so it's probably most unusual enough that it deserves a spot in a zoo.
I don't know. And then they've got blue poison dart frogs. I hope those have gold spots, then they could become the Brewers mascots.
They're poisonous. Don't mess with them.
I'm kidding. It's a Brazilian giant cockroach.
Yes, massive cockroach.
Okay, if you don't like cockroaches, just keep watching the video. The pig-nosed turtle.
Yes, there is a pig-nosed turtle that they have.
Huh?
Exactly. When I saw that, it's like, what? What?
And then they've got some beloved animals. The red pandas, the polar bears, and the moose. Shout out to you, Mike Moose-Stalkers.
We miss you, Moose. We miss you.
Come back.
My 5 picks for Toronto. A lot has to do with, in many ways, the different cultures that come into Toronto. It's said that Toronto may be the most culturally diverse city in North America, even more than Houston, which is one that we checked out just a couple of weeks ago. You can learn so much about different cultures just from experiencing the city. And one of the places to check out is the Aga Khan Museum. It is the first Muslim art museum in North America.
It's a Muslim art museum.
Yes.
Okay.
Art is one of the most fantastic ways to be able to learn another culture because you get expression. Art's really expression. It can teach so much about the history of whatever the subject matter is, in this case, the Muslim faith. And you really get to see it in a way that isn't necessarily filtered by another person's view. You see it as they begin to understand it. And so much of what we believe, for example, as Catholics, is that we believe in hospitality and engaging in compassion towards another human being. The best way to do that is to really understand who is someone. And when you begin to understand, you begin to break down barriers, You begin to realize they're just as human as you are, even if you disagree on faith. Both faiths, when it really comes down to it, have to do with compassion towards another person. And then you can really begin to break down walls. These are the types of things that when you experience that, it really helps give the truth versus the stereotypes that you might see. And I think that can be such a positive experience to check out. Number 2 isn't as serious as that experience, as cool as that is. How'd you like to go see some Canadian football?
To be totally honest, love the NFL, and I know they have different rules. And in my opinion, the NFL's rules are better. I've seen a Canadian football game though on YouTube.
They're fun. I mean, I'm more of an NFL fan certainly, but a Canadian game is fun. 12 players, wider field. You only get 3 downs instead of 4, so it's a lot of passing, a lot of fun, and you can see the Toronto Argonauts as well as Toronto FC soccer at BMO Field. It is the home of both Toronto FC and the Argonauts. Both play in summer and in early fall, so there's a really good chance that as we go for a Brewers Blue Jays game, we could check out one of their games as well.
Yeah.
That could be fun. It's also on the site of the original Exhibition Stadium, which was the home of the Toronto Blue Jays back in the 70s when they started.
Oh, okay. When did they start?
1977.
77. Oh, that was a great year.
Yes, it was. Go Marquette.
Yes.
Number 3 on my list is just a place to relax and hang. Escape the bustle of the big city for a while, but it's really close to the big city. It's Center Island. Toronto's on Lake Ontario.
It is.
It is one of the Great Lakes, obviously. It's one of the biggest cities in the Great Lakes, along with Chicago. It gives the advantage that we get here in Milwaukee, that Chicagoans get in Chicago, to be basically right by an ocean almost in terms of the view.
Yeah.
But you get fresh water.
Oh, yeah.
Center Island is just off the coast of Toronto in the downtown area. You can take a ferry over there, so you get a ferry boat ride as part of the experience. You can just head to like the northern edge of the park and see the downtown skyline.
That is awesome.
A beautiful photo opportunity for sunrise, for sunset during the golden hours. That's fantastic to check out.
What I would want to see, if it's possible, to have downtown at like sunset or sunrise, and then like it'd be high tide so that you can still see the water pretty good.
Ooh.
That would be cool.
We got a photojournalist in the making right here.
No, you don't. I don't think I'd want to be one.
The other cool thing about this place is that it has one of the locations in Toronto of one of their favorite pastry spots. This isn't one of my top 5 for Toronto food. That's coming next week, but it is still fantastic. It's called Beaver Tails.
Is it a literal beaver tail?
Think of a massive pastry the size of a beaver's tail. It's huge. Think of like a foot long by a half foot wide with chocolate or other sugary goodness, which is going to keep you awake instead of going bouncing. You'd be bouncing off walls, kid. You would be bouncing
We should
off
have that right before a Brewer game.
That would help, potentially.
Especially if it goes like 20 innings.
Number 4 isn't necessarily one place, but it's a whole connection of places all over the downtown area of Toronto and beyond. It's called The Path. It is almost 19 miles of underground walkways as well as skyways between Toronto's downtown buildings. Toronto can get cold.
It can. It can get Milwaukee cold.
Which is not fun for those of you.
It's not fun, especially in February. That's when it's the worst.
I could enjoy the cold, at least here and there. I'd enjoy it at Lambeau Field.
Oh yeah, I love the cold at Lambeau.
But beyond that, it's not necessarily the most fun to live in. That's why Toronto built this network, so people wouldn't have to go outside in order to get to where they need to go and where they want to go, whether it's for a business meeting or whether it's for a meal after work or whether it's just to enjoy something that they want to do. It connects basically everything downtown, from the downtown office buildings and the rail terminals, the subways, the hotels, to going just right outside the Rogers Center, CN Tower.
The Hockey Hall of Fame.
The Hockey Hall of Fame. All this stuff is connected in one big honkin' system.
I almost picked this. I did.
It would just be cool just to experience it.
Yeah.
It just seems super fun. My number 5 and the last of my top 5 is one of the great museums of North America. It is the Royal Ontario Museum. It's got very striking outside architecture.
Okay.
It's an old building, but combined with like this huge gray steel set of rose petals that are upside down. Sound strange?
Yes, y'all.
And we may have to compare this to Soldier Field in Chicago, which is where a spaceship landed in a Roman Colosseum. I think this is going to be a little bit better than that. But it has got 13 million different pieces of art, cultural objects, and natural history specimens in 40 different galleries. It's big, huge. It includes dinosaur histories. They have an exhibit coming up for the history of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, Mommy would be all over that.
Mommy would big time be all over that. Upcoming Egyptian mummy exhibit, and it's got a whole boatload of art galleries for different regions of the world. You've got something for ancient Rome, a lot of Chinese architecture. This takes you on a worldwide journey in a day, and you don't have to get cold in the winter to do it. That's what makes this place so cool in so many different ways. And it's right outside just this really cool park in Toronto as well. So while you're traipsing between all these spots downtown, walking the pathway, you can get a little hungry. There's some very interesting food picks for us in Canada.
Yeah, we've got some good pizza.
Pizza!
Hey, chill. What's more important is cheese curd, which you cannot find in Houston or here or there.
Oh, well, here you can find it here in Milwaukee, of course. Yeah. But they are known for that. We're going to have a lot to discuss on our food episode, which comes up next week. How do you check it out?
Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. Ding, ding, ding.
And you only need a Gmail account to do it. You don't need a YouTube channel.
And it's free.
And it is free. For little buddy, I am Daddy. Can you give us a Bob Uecker style? See you later.
So long from Milwaukee, folks. See you next time, everybody.